Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel of Bethel Evangelical Free Church Hanley. I'm Pastor Gervais Charmley. This is another historic Lake District church. We've come inland now, and this is the church, technically the Chapel of Ease of the Holy Innocents, Broughton Mill. It's, of course, Broughton Mill. It's a Chapel of Ease to St Mary's in Broughton in Furness. It's here, as the name suggests, because of industry in the area, that you have mills up here, people living here, and it's quite some distance actually from the town. And so this little Chapel of Ease is built in 1888. The architects, I believe, are Paley and Austin of Lancaster. They did many churches in this area, and it's a very simple building. It's a typically Lake District Victorian structure with a sort of imitation dry stone walling on the outside. The walls are of externally stone rubble, probably brick on the inside, and so it's nicely plastered and whitewashed. So we'll have a little look around the inside. It's a teeny little place, and then a little look around the outside. As usual, then we start at the west end. There is no font here. It's a Chapel of Ease, and so baptisms would have been carried out, expected to be carried out at Broughton, the Mother Church, and not here at Holy Innocents. And so here we are, because you see very simple benches, just a bar across the back, not a full back. We have here the harmonium, and behind it the pulpit, because it's a tiny building, so space is at a premium. And here we have the apse and the east window. The east window appears to be by Kemp, which is unusual, such a small building, but somebody had the connections and the funds. So there we have the eagle lectern, and there's the pulpit, and Holy Bible, Henry and Scott illustrated. So that's a study Bible with notes from Matthew Henry and Thomas Scott. Thomas Scott was, of course, the great evangelical Anglican one, and Matthew Henry's the famous commentator, and so split the difference. Have a bit of both. There's the roof structure of the apse. There's a bigger version of this at Woodlands, which is not very far away, and God willing we'll visit it at some point. So there we are looking west, triple lancets, simple style. It's very nice tiled floor here, you see. And so we go round the back and looking all the way west. The church is always open. You will notice there those are oil lamps in the ceiling, and yet they've been converted to electricity, which is what I would expect if there's any electricity at all, and that there is, because I can see the cables and the light bulbs. In a little place like this, sometimes you don't have any electricity, but obviously it has come out. There are houses around the church. There's no reason why it shouldn't. So that is the outside here. There's the south. Double check, no north door. So let's go outside. So here we are outside at Holy Innocents Broughton Mills. I did check, it is Broughton Mills, plural, which is to be expected in terms of why is there a chapel here. It's a bit difficult to film and photograph because there's no graveyard. There's a bit of land around the outside, but it's right by the side of the road. There's not a lot of sites here, you see, so it's a case of where was a spare piece of land that somebody was willing to give or to sell for the chapel. But it's still here, it's always open, and it's always a welcoming little building. And it's still used for services, of course. So we'll have a little look around the outside. It'll be fairly short because of access issues, because of the site, as we shall see. So here we go. It's a very simple structure, early English style. Now the dedication, Holy Innocents, is the Holy Innocents are the children of Bethlehem who were killed by Herod seeking the life of the young Jesus Christ. And you can see there this great big chunk of rock, one of the reasons why this piece of land wasn't suitable for very much. You can see there down into the basement. I expect that's the heating plant down there. That's what I would certainly, well, heating would be. There's no windows, so it's unlikely to be a room for meetings or anything. I would expect that would either be done in the chapel itself or that they'd have cottage meetings in the village. There is a village hall. It's the other end of the village. Parking here is a little bit tight. You do have to go up by the side of the road, which is a little bit tricky. And I'm just going up here, very steep here, so I've just got to make sure I've got a decent foothold, otherwise this will be the last video I ever make, which I don't want it to be. There we are. And that's what I mean about this sort of imitation dry stone walling. It's not actually dry stone. There is mortar, but the mortar is some way back. So, from first glance, it appears to be dry stone. You can see back there the route down there. It's a very nice building. It did have a little belfry with a little pointy bit on the top when it was opened, but that has long since disappeared. The pointy bit went first and the rest followed at some point, I think, in the 20th century. There's the porch. The north side is what faces the road. And up on the hill you can see sheep safely grazing. So that, just walk past the front here. It is a very pleasant roadside chapel of ease. Very attractive piece of Victorian, and it's to do with changing population patterns, but also changing expectations. The time was when the expectation out here would be that either you went into Broughton for your services, or the vicar would come out and he'd take, or rector rather, would come out and take services in cottages. So that's the outside of the door. But by the Victorian era, Broughton had been much extended, and the medieval church there was very small, and the great big Victorian building whacked onto it. Here we have the foundation stone laid by Viscountess Cross, September the 19th, 1887, so it's opened there the following year. So that's the outside here. And so there we have it, the Holy Innocents, Broughton Mills. As I said before, what makes it a chapel rather than a church is to do with its legal status. There's no parish attached to it. It's within a larger parish, that's of Broughton, and it has its own district, but it isn't a parish church, whereas to be a church, technically in the C of E, you've got to be a parish church, there's got to be a parish attached. So thank you for watching, and may God bless you and keep you until next time.